Srimad Bhagavatam 1:9-39. Any volunteers who would like to recite the Sanskrit? Vijay Ratha Kutumb Attatotre
विजय रथा कुटुम्ब आत्रतोत्रे
Drita Hayarashmini Tachiyekshaniye
धृता हयाराश्मिनिता श्रीक्षणीये
Bhagवती Rate Ashume Mumupurushor
भगवतिरतिरस्तु मे मुमुर्षोर्
Yam Nirikshayahata Gata
यम इह निरीक्षय हतागता स्वरूपम्
Hare Krishna. Any volunteers who would like to read the translation? And
I can read, Prabhuji.
yes, Madhi, go ahead.
At the moment of the death, let my ultimate attraction be to Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead. I concentrate my mind upon the chariot driver of the Arjuna, who stood up with a whip in his right hand and bridle rope in his left, who was very careful to give protection to Arjuna chariot by all means. Those who saw him on the battlefield of Kurukshetra attained their original forms after death.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for reading. So we have read this before, but I think we'll still read it. You know, the more we read Bhagavatam, the better. So who would like to read the purport?
I can read, Prabhuji.
Yes, Madhi, go ahead.
Purport. A pure devotee of the Lord constantly sees the presence of the Lord within himself because of being transcendently related by loving service. Such a pure devotee cannot forget the Lord for a moment. This is called trance. The mystic yogi tries to concentrate upon the super soul by controlling the senses from all other engagement, and thus he ultimately attains samadhi. A devotee more easily attains samadhi or trance by constantly remembering the Lord's personal feature along with his holy name, fame, pastime, etc. Therefore, the concentration of the mystic yogi and that of the devotee are not on the same level. The concentration of the mystic is mechanical, whereas that of the pure devotee is natural in pure love and spontaneous affection. Bhishma Deva was a pure devotee, and as a military marshal, he constantly remembered the battlefield feature of the Lord as Parthasarthi, the chariot driver of Arjuna. Therefore, the Lord's pastime as Parthasarthi is also eternal. The pastime of the Lord, beginning from his birth at the prison house of Kamsa up to the Moshala Leela, at the end, all move one after another in all the universes. Just as the clock hand moves from one point to another. And in such pastime, his associates, like the Pandavas and Bhishma, are constant internal companions. So Bhishma Deva never forgot the beautiful feature of the Lord as Parthasarthi, which even Arjuna could not see. Arjuna was behind the beautiful Parthasarthi, while Bhishma Deva was just in front of the Lord. As far as military feature of the Lord is concerned, Bhishma Deva observed this one more relish than Arjuna. So, in this, Prabhuji, Prabhupada explains about the difference between a mystic yogi, how mechanically they try to concentrate upon the super soul by controlling, but whereas for a pure devotee, it is very very spontaneous, because the pure devotee is always remembering the Lord and truly loving the Lord from the heart. So for them, they don't have to technically, mechanically, do something to remember the Lord. So it's very easy for them to be in the samadhi. And samadhi is a state where you always in a trance. So being in the trance always is only remembering about Krishna, the Supreme Lord, and about his presence. So that is the difference Prabhupada has explained here in this purport. And then Prabhupada is also telling that how Bhishma Deva was also a pure devotee. And during the battlefield, he actually remembered the Lord feature or Lord role there as a Parthasarthi, that he is actually the charioteer of Arjuna. And Arjuna is called a son of Pratha, so he's Partha. So therefore, the Lord pastime is Partha. Sarthi is also eternal. So everything, because Lord is a transcendental body. So everything with the Lord which exists is also eternal, because Lord is also eternal. So this pastime is a Parthasarthi is also eternal. And the pastime of the Lord beginning from the birth, prison house comes. So Prabhuji, we discussed about this Maushala Leela, but I'm so sorry, I just forgot about this.
When Krishna Maushala Leela is when Krishna left.
Okay. So here Prabhupada is saying that since his birth and till the time he actually left, he left till that time, all his pastimes all move one after another. So he was continuously doing the pastimes. It's not that he rested for some time, as we see in the Vrindavan since his birth, how the Vasudev took him to Nand Maharaj, and from there he did all those leelas. Every day he was doing some pastimes. So it was just like the clock hand moves from one point to another. So and in such pastimes his associates. So here Prabhupada is saying that because in God's leela, all his associates actually has been given some role to perform. So like Pandavas and Bhishma Deva were always with the Lord, because they are the pure devotees. They are the eternal servitors of the Lord and associates of the Lord. So every pastime you see that all his devotees has been given a role to play. So it's been said that Bhishma Deva and Pandavas are always a companion of Krishna. So the Krishna is actually, because he knew that right now Krishna, Bhishma Deva says right now he's playing a role of a charioteer, but he could never forget him, that he's the Supreme Lord. And Arjuna could not see the Parthasarthi, because Arjuna was actually could not see, because Arjuna was behind the beautiful Parthasarthi. But whereas Bhishma Deva, because he was the opponent, he could see from face to face Krishna, and could see Krishna as a Parthasarthi. So as far as the military feature of the laws is concerned, Bhishma Deva actually observed that also. But in this Leela, Arjun could not see that because he was behind. So yeah, so this is in this purport I could understand, Prabhuji. Please add and correct. Otherwise, I'll
Thank you, Thank you very much for sharing. So let me ask everybody, what is the meaning of this sentence? So from beginning of Krishna's pastimes till the end, what is Prabhupada?
You want to keep this?
Who would like to share?
Prabhuji, I'm also like little here that after another in all the universes.
Now, what
So
is all the universes move like a clock hand moves? What is this all about?
प्रभु जी एक बार हम लोगों ने डिस्कस किया था ना कि कृष्णा's लीला एवरी मतलब हर पल it is happening somewhere or the other. It is constantly happening. If not in this place, then in some other universe. That is what I understood. एक बार बात की थी तो.
Okay. Anybody else? So yes, Raksha Mataji is actually mentioning the main point here. So just like when the earth goes around the sun, or right, rotates on its axis around the sun, at any point of time, there is some place on the earth which will be having noon, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, or let's say 12 o'clock midnight, or 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. So in our place, maybe it's not 8 o'clock right now, 8 p.m. It's almost like 8:15 or 8:30. But at some other place, it is 8 o'clock. And as we are talking, time is passing and time is changing, right? Similarly, Krishna's pastimes are always going on, all the pastimes from his birth till he left the uh, this world. So those pastimes are eternal. So right now, at some universe, somewhere, Krishna must be having the Damodar Leela with Mother Yashoda. It's an eternal pastime of the Lord. So because Lord is actually present in so many different places and having so many different Leelas, he also has his associates expand and they are also present. So what is Prabhupada mentioning here is Bhishma Deva was a pure devotee and a military marshal. He constantly remembered the battlefield feature of the Lord as Parthasarthi, the chariot driver of Arjuna. Therefore, the Lord's pastimes as Parthasarthi is also eternal. So this Parthasarthi pastime is eternal. Then pastimes of the Lord beginning from this to this all move from one after the other in all the universes. So let's say right now Damodar Leela is happening in one universe, it gets over. Some other universe it is starting immediately. And a third universe, will start as soon as it is over in the second universe. Like that, every universe is having all the Leelas of the past times, at least at some point. And there are so many universes like that. So this is what Prabhupada is saying, just like clock hand moves from one point to the other. So it's not that the clock hand has disappeared. It is just changing the place. If the clock was at 6, it will move to 7, but then it will exist. It will not change. It's just moving positions. Similarly, a particular time in the day that may be different if we are in a particular location, the time will vary, but some other place will get the same time, then another place will get the same time which was at, let's say was present in the initial place. So I'm not sure if I am choosing the right words or not, but I hope devotees got the point, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Anybody has any doubt about this now? Okay, great. So we'll read the next paragraph. Who would like to read the next paragraph? Any volunteers?
I can continue, Prabhuji.
You continue, please.
All the soldiers and persons on the battlefield of Kurukshetra attained their original spiritual form like the Lord after death, because by the causeless mercy of the Lord they were able to see him face to face on the occasion. The conditioned souls rotating in the evolutionary cycle from the aquatics up to the form of Brahma are all in the form of Maya, or the form obtained by one's own action and rewarded by material nature. The material forms of the conditioned souls are like foreign dresses, and when the conditioned souls become liberated from the clutches of the material energy, he attains his original form. The impersonalist wants to attain the impersonal Brahman effulgence of the Lord, but that is not at all congenial to the living sparks, parts and parcel of the Lord. Therefore, the impersonalist again fall down and get attained by the devotees of the Lord, either in the Vaikuntha's material form, which are all false to the spirit soul. A spiritual form like Lord's, either two-handed or four-handed, is attained by the devotees of the Lord, either in the Vaikuntha's or in the Golok planets, according to the original nature of the soul. The form, which is 10% spiritual, is the Swarupa of the living being, and all the living beings who participated on the battlefield of Kurukshetra on both sides attained their Swarupas, as confirmed by Bhishma Deva. So Lord Sri Krishna was not merciful only to the Pandavas. He was also merciful to the other parties, because all of them attained an associate. All of them attained on the same result. Bhishma Deva wanted the same facility also, and that was his prayer to the Lord. Although his position as an associate of the Lord is assured in all circumstances, the conclusion is that whoever dies looking at the personality of Godhead without or within or without attaining his Swarupa, which is the highest perfection of life. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, you want to share something?
So Prabhuji, all I could understand from here that Lord Shri Krishna was very merciful, that all the soldiers in the battlefield actually got the Swarupa of the Lord, because they were all able to see the Lord face to face. So if anybody who actually sees the Lord or face to face, but the personality of God is Shri Krishna, and at the time of death, they attain his Swarupa, which is the highest perfection. So there is one line, Prabhuji, that this form which is 10% the Swarupa living, and all living time beings who parted, not this one, like they get this Swarupa according to the original nature of the soul. So what is this, Prabhuji? If they get the Swarupa, then how, like two-handed, four-handed, according to the nature of the soul? So if they are getting this Lord Swarup, so how it is different, Prabhuji? Like I've read in eight, seventh chapter, I think, ending verses, that in that Prabhupada is explained that in the beginning of 8th chapter, that demigods and they are also associates of Lord, and they also get these, like Indra and Brahma and other demigods get their position by their actions or whatever their karmas were, but once they are accumulated, they also have to come down. So is that, Prabhuji, correct? Is that relevant here, or is that Prabhupada is trying to say here?
Prabhupada is saying something which is very important and not the same what you mentioned.
Okay, Prabhuji.
So first we have to understand this word Swarupa. What does this mean? Can anybody tell what is this Swarupa?
प्रभु जी स्वरूप मैंने मतलब तो जो सेम रूप हो. No.
Anybody else?
मुझे form होता है क्या? Is like certain form. How do I explain? जैसे नरसिंह स्वरूप में आए या हम बोले वामन स्वरूप में आए. Is that right? Form.
Okay. So here Swarupa is of the living being. So what does it mean? Swarup of the soul or jiva or living being.
It's the original form, Swarup,
Okay, very good.
original form of the God.
Okay. So let's not speculate. Either you know it or you don't know it. So we have discussed this before about Swarup Siddhi. Anybody remembers what is Swarupa Siddhi? So each living, so Krishna is so merciful and personal that each living entity has a particular relationship with Krishna, a unique relationship. And that person or jiva or living being is totally happy, satisfied, and content in loving and serving Krishna in that particular way. So that actually is our Swarup. That is our real constitutional position. Because there are so many different types of living entities who have so many different ways in which they want to serve Krishna. Even those who are conditioned, even they have a Swarupa, but they've just forgotten. And just by revival of that, they can go. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kapunoy Shravan Adi Suddhi Chyti Koroye Udoy. That this is eternally lying in the heart of every living entity. And how can it come out? Shravan Adi Suddhi Chyti. Starting with Shravanam, hearing, one can revive this original consciousness and bring it out. So every living entity has a Swarupa. Like for example, somebody's Swarupa may be to be a cowherd boy and play with Krishna in Golok Vrindavan. So that may be the Swarupa. Someone's Swarupa may be to be a servant of Lord Vishnu in the Vaikuntha planets and serve him in a four-handed form as a servant. Somebody's Swarupa may be very different. So like that, everybody has a certain Swarupa. To actually be able to realize that and come to that level platform is the perfection of one's life. Because that is how we will be most happy and we can do, our service. Now, right now we are conditioned. Right now, if somebody says, oh, you are, having this Swarupa or that Swarupa, that actually doesn't have much substance. In fact, if you go to many spiritual places, quote unquote spiritual, or let's say, some places, even in Vrindavan, Radhakund, they, there may be some people who may tell you that, oh, I can tell you your Swarupa. What is your Swarupa? And that way they are telling people that, see, unless you don't know your Swarupa, you cannot advance in bhakti. But actually that is wrong. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he recommended the 9 processes of devotional service, starting with hearing, Shravanam. And if we follow that nicely, then the Swarupa is in itself revealed to us. Of course, the Guru and the advanced, personalities, the Acharyas, they know things. So the Guru can tell the Swarupa, but that may not be of much use, because until and unless you are not practicing spiritual life seriously as recommended by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you will have a very materialistic conception and idea about the Swarupa. And it will not really lead to the desired goal. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, he actually discontinued this process of telling the Swarupa to the disciples. In fact, he told that for us, the mantra is Trinadapi Sunichena, Tarorapi Sahishnunam, Amanina Manadena, Kirtaniya Sadahari. Anybody knows what is the meaning of this?
To be humble as the blade of grass, to be tolerant as a tree, and to be respectful to everybody. And yeah, that's what I remember, Prabhuji.
Thank you,
From
And
Mataji.
always chant Krishna's Hari Kirtanya, Krishna's name. Kirtanya Sadhari.
Correct. So actually, sometimes it is said the meaning is to be more humble than a blade of grass. So blade of grass is very humble. We can step on the grass. We do so many things on the grass. Animals do so many things. But the grass is very humble and more tolerant than a tree. Tree is so tolerant. How can one be more tolerant than a tree and more humble than a blade of grass? But then if you can, then ready to offer all respect to others and expect none in return. So these are the 4 points. More tolerant than a blade of grass, more humble than a blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree, ready to offer all respect to others and expect none in return. These 4 points. If one does this, then one can chant the holy name constantly. And actually, it's vice versa also. The more we chant the holy name, the more it helps in developing these qualities so that we have a right attitude and right consciousness for chanting. And then when we chant more in this consciousness, then we get more success, more humility, more tolerance, more. We are respecting more other people. We are glorifying other people. We are seeing good qualities of other people. And we are not feeling like any desire that we should be glorified. In fact, if anybody glorifies us, we don't feel we don't feel comfortable. We want to just not, take those words and inflate our pride. We definitely take the sentiment from the devotees. We take, when devotees appreciate us, when devotees glorify, we take their sentiment as a blessing, and we are very grateful. We are uh, taking the emotion, but all the credit we are giving to our teachers, our gurus, our uh, acharyas, because of whom we are in a position to be able to continue some sort of service in Lord Chaitanya Prabhu's movement. Otherwise, there is no hope. So the more we chant, the more we develop these qualities, the more we get humble, the more we become tolerant, the more we are respecting others, the more we are expecting no respect for ourselves, and that will help us in chanting more. So like that, it is a very, very powerful process. So this is what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj said is our mantra. The more we do this, the more this Swarupa will be revealed. And many times great acharyas, great personalities, they are able to get that revelation, and they are chanting, and when they chant, they are actually in the Leela and the pastime of Krishna, serving there. So like that, one can understand and achieve the Swarupa in so many different ways. Here, because they were in presence of the Lord, they were able to achieve. And similarly, somebody in presence of a pure devotee, he can get benefit. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was personally present, even the animals he was touching and they were transforming. They were going into ecstasy, chanting the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And in fact, when Srila Prabhupada was asked about this, Prabhupada said, my Guru Maharaj told me to go to America. And if he would have told me to go to the forest and preach to the animals, I would have done that. Prabhupada said, I would have done that. That is the kind of person, who is really going to make success in spiritual life. That making the orders of the Guru one's life and soul. That's what Srila Prabhupada did. Prabhupada was asked to go to America, he went. And then when he came, he said, if he would have asked me to go to the forest and preach to the wild people, I would have done that. And Prabhupada's disciples said, actually, it was even more difficult to come to America and preach to Americans because they are no less than wild animals. And America is no less than a jungle, and it may be a jungle of concrete, if not the jungle of trees. Jungle of trees is still nature friendly, but here there's jungle of concrete, all these buildings, New York, and everything is there. And the illusory energy is so powerful. Even those people who were trained by Srila Prabhupada, after Srila Prabhupada left, it became very difficult for them to continue like before. And many of the people who were, still kind of early in the Krishna consciousness, but they were, managing, they could not grow ISKCON anyway in the same way in which Prabhupada was growing in the 1970s. And in 1970s in New York, ISKCON had a huge big skyscraper building, like top, one of the tallest buildings that was belonging to ISKCON. But with passage of time, it was very difficult for the disciples to be able to, continue, in the same pace. And when you don't continue in the same pace, you don't have money, you don't have funds, you don't have, projects, then it's very difficult. And illusory energy, Maya, is so powerful. And then, of course, with time, things uh, stabilize now, as all the Prabhupada disciples, they have, so much purity and so much power, so many years of service they have done to Srila Prabhupada, that now they are actually empowered by Prabhupada, and they are going to different countries, and they are actually transforming the hearts of people. There was hardly any preaching in Russia and China at the time of Prabhupada. There was hardly any preaching in India, but all these places are now growing and flourishing, all because the efforts of the followers of Srila Prabhupada. So like that, we see that all these, people, or the acharyas like Srila Prabhupada and previously, they are giving us a process, and if we follow them, we can actually realize our swarupa ourselves, rather than artificially, superficially hearing and mimicking it. Does it make sense? Anybody else would like to add anything? Cannot hear anyone.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, we can hear you, just listening right now. Nothing to add.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, yeah, your voice is breaking a little, but I understood. Said nothing to add. So does it answer your question, Mataji?
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you. And the point which you were making was basically in the material world only, the going up and down, whether demigod body or human body or any body, that has
Mhm.
nothing to do with the Swarupa. It is just like the dress. Sometimes you're wearing a tuxedo, sometimes you're wearing a pant and shirt or tie, sometimes you're wearing, night suit. So all these are different clothes. Similarly, whether you are Indra, Chandra, Brahma, or a worm in the sewage, it doesn't matter. Whatever you may be is just a covering. But this Swarupa is actually what is your position, real position, who you are, not the covering, not the body, not the, place you are in material world, but actually the spiritual constitutional position.
So, Prabhuji, every living entity's real Swarupa is the eternal servitor of Lord Krishna, right, Prabhuji? And
Jivera Swarup hoy
Rupa hoy
Krishna
Nitya
Nitya Das.
Krishna Das. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay.
Krishnera Nitya Das means Das can be any of the, in any of the mood. Das means serve Krishna the way he wants the service. So that is how our mood should be. And then when we are in that mood, then our original Swarupa is revealed. Oh, this is how I am actually most happy in serving Krishna, and Krishna is most happy in accepting my services and reciprocating.
Like pure devotees, Prabhuji, we shared in past that every like some devotees like the acharyas previous they were like different manjaris.
Yes,
Like somebody's different manjari, but somebody's different manjari serving in a different mood. Some other manjari serving in a different mood, right, Prabhuji?
yes, Mata. So Manjari
Okay.
could be one more way. Sukadev Goswami, who spoke the Srimad Bhagavatam, his constitutional Swarupa is a parrot of
Apparent.
Radharani, right? Suka. So like that, different devotees have different Swarupa.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Okay. Anything else? Anybody? Okay, we'll go to next shloka. Who would like to read next? 1940. Lalita gati vilasval guhasa
Lalita Gati Vilasa Valguhasa
pranayane Chan kalpitorumana kratam anukrit tavatya unmadana dha
Kritam
prakritim ganakīlayasya gopavadhva Maybe next one Nirbhay Prabhu can decide. He knows the tune in which it is to be recited.
I don't, Prabhuji.
We heard the video. It's not a very easy tune to learn because it's not very commonly used. So if you practice few times, then I think you'll remember. So you can sing sometime, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhuji. Maybe Wednesday I'll try to sing.
Okay, great. So who would like to read the translation and purport?
I can read, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji, go ahead.
Let my mind be fixed upon Sri Krishna, whose motions and smiles of love attracted the damsels of Brasdham, the gopis. The damsels initiated the characteristic movements of the Lord after his disappearance from prasadams. By intense ecstasy in loving service, the damsels of Brajbhumi attained qualitative oneness with the Lord by dancing with him on an equal level, embracing him in nuptial love, smiling at him in a joke, and looking at him with a loving attitude. The relationship of the Lord with Arjuna is undoubtedly praiseworthy for devotees like Bhismadeva, but the relationship of gopis with the Lord is still more praiseworthy because of their still more purified loving service. By the grace of Lord, Arjuna was fortunate enough to have the fraternal service of the Lord as a chariot driver. But the Lord did not award Arjuna with equal strength. The gopis, however, practically became one with the Lord by attainment of equal footing with the Lord. Bhisma aspiration to remember the gopis is a prayer to have their mercy also at last stage of his life. The Lord is satisfied more when his pure devotees are glorified, and therefore Bhismadeva has not only glorified the acts of Arjuna, he immediately objects of attraction, but has also remembered the gopis, who were endowed with unrevealed opportunity of the rendering loving service to the Lord. The gopis' equality with the Lord should never be misunderstood to be like Saujanya liberation of the impersonalist. The equality in is one of the perfect ecstasy where the differential conception is completely eradicated for the interest of lover and beloved become identical. So this is very nicely explained how the devotee exchange the Krishna and different types of loving relationship with Krishna, and what is their qualities and their characteristics and how much worthy they are. Like millions of people were there. Almost 20 million, 22 million people, more than that, in the Mahabharata. But Arjuna had chosen Krishna has chosen only Vajna as his worthy friend. Beloved one, we can say that, and most trustworthy, and most legible. We can say that in the very easy language, because Krishna knows how we many times we discuss 4.11 a the same thing. In what mood we are going to approach to Krishna reciprocate in the same way, and that's what the Krishna is giving, that Arjun relationship with Krishna is praiseworthy. It's really good, but loving relationship with gopis, all the Vrindavan gopis, is higher than that. They have different mellows. So that's what it has been explained, and Bhishma Dev is explaining everything. This is really the inspiration for everyone. We should have the immediate attraction and service for the Lord. That's it, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else would like to share any points?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yeah, just here it's very nicely said where that Lord Krishna is very happy when the devotees are glorified. So that is why Bhishma Dev chose to praise the best of the devotees, that is the gopis. And then the other thing that is mentioned here is about the mukti, that is, we should not confuse this with the Mayavadi's mukti, that the level is equal to Krishna, and that is explained, that level equal to Krishna should not be misunderstood, that it is being said that they become same as Krishna. It is not that. The level which, and please correct me, Prabhuji, if I'm wrong, but what I understand from here is the level is same as Krishna, means like they can have the loving banter with Krishna, like exchanges with Krishna, whereas in the other rasas they're not at the same level. They still keep Krishna slightly higher, not at the same level, like they like in the in the Vatsalya ras, it's more as, even actually in Vatsalya ras, and it is the Krishna is being taken care of as a child. So Mother Yashoda chastises her, Lord Krishna. Same way the gopis, they also, we hear some wonderful pastimes when the gopis actually they are angry with Krishna, or they say things which are not, which cannot be said to somebody you in a worshipable position, like in a Dasyaras or things like that. So just wanted to um, clarify that is my understanding. Okay, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much for sharing. Very nice. Anybody else would like to share, make any points here? So last line Prabhupada is saying equality is one of the perfect ecstasy where the differential conception is completely eradicated from the interest of the lover and the beloved become identical. Sound very technical, right? The equality is one of perfect ecstasy where the differential conception is completely eradicated for the interests of the lover and the beloved become identical. So basically what was explained by Nirbhay Bro and Suresh Bro. Any other points anybody wants to make? So one of course important point is to praise the devotees, right? Praise devotees, undoubtedly praiseworthy for the devotees like Bhishma Dev, but relation with the gopis is still more praiseworthy. So praise is important, glorification of devotees is important, and then understanding of how Krishna and the gopis, they are, because of the love of the devotees, they are equal level. Prabhupada mentioning Arjuna, even though he was there, but not really in the equal level from one sense. And then how the level of the gopis being so advanced. Okay, we'll go forward. We'll do one more. A little long, no problem. We'll try to do as much as we can. So who would like to sing? Nirbhay Prabhu will sing this one. It's more than 9. I'm sorry, I didn't realize. So I think we'll not be able to complete it. So probably have discussion and reading tomorrow. So we'll stop here. Anybody else would like to make any points?
No, Prabhuji. Thank you to Nirbhay Prabhu, Suresh Prabhu, and to you, Prabhuji, for explaining. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, to you too for explaining. And thank you to all the other devotees for participating.
We have to do 11 times Hare Krishna, right?
We'll do that. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.